What up? What up? What up, you guys? It's Blackwing2040. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm doing yet another Power Rangers tier list. So the last tier list I did all the Red Rangers. This time, we're jumping to the Blue Rangers. And just so you know, this is just my opinion. So, if your favorite blue is placed in the wrong spot, I'm sorry. This is just my opinion on these particular Blue Rangers. Okay, it's just my opinion. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so these are all the Blue Rangers going from MMPR all the way to Beast Morphers because it wouldn't make sense to do a list with the Down and Fury Rangers since their show just started. So, starting off with the Blue Ranger that started it all, that would be Billy. And again, this is basically on like how much they did in their season, what they contributed, and everything. And I gotta say, Billy has come a very long way from being, the nervous guy, even when he fights. But Billy has really stepped up into his own from the beginning of MMPR all the way to his, he left at the end of pretty much near the end of Zeo. And I love this character. Even as the show progressed, Billy just got rid of the glasses and everything. He just started being him. Billy contributed a lot, whether he was a Ranger or not. Billy was great. And I'm not saying he's the greatest Blue Ranger ever just because he's the original. No, Billy actually did things, and that's great. And Billy does deserve to go in the GOAT. And that's not because of the original. He honestly deserves it. All right, the next Blue Ranger is Cestro. I gotta put him in trash because, let's be honest, all the Alien Rangers didn't really do much. They were just replacements for the team until they got their powers back. That's all the Alien Rangers were. But yeah, Cestro, he goes in trash. All right, next up is Rocky. Now, I did not like Rocky as a Red Ranger, but as a Blue Ranger, definitely. Rocky definitely did, develop as a Blue Ranger because I think when he was a Red Ranger, I feel like there were moments where he still had big shoes to fill because Jason left. But here, as a Blue Ranger, you see him come into his own. You even have a moment where he feels like, when Jason came back onto the team in Zeo, Rocky felt like he was, forgettable, but it turns out that was a good story point, if I would say. And he had really great focus episodes as well in Zeo. So I got to put Rocky in Raw. Rocky is definitely Raw, a Raw Blue Ranger. All right, next up is Justin. I didn't like him. I'm sorry. I really, really didn't like him. I did not like him. Yes, he was the kid of the team, but even in the first half of Turbo, I did not like Justin the most. That was the most. I cannot stand him in the first half of Turbo. Now, with the second half, with the new team, I think it was okay because TJ was like that big brother role, was in that big brother position for Justin and everything. But in the first half, he always kept relying on Tommy and Kat. They're like the surrogate parents for Justin, but I never liked him. I'm sorry. Justin goes in trash. He's trash. All right, next up, speaking of TJ, yes, TJ was a Red Ranger. He did get demoted to Blue, but TJ still contributed to the team. He was still second in command. He gave excellent battle plans during the fight against the Psycho Rangers. TJ was all around a great Blue Ranger. He was great as both colors, if I'm going to be honest. All right, so TJ definitely does get put in GOAT for sure, definitely. Okay, next up is Kai. Kai was definitely that guy that always, was by the book. But he didn't have enough. He just didn't really have enough to do. That's what I'm just saying. He was by the book. He was, the idealistic person, but I just felt like Kai didn't really have much to do in Lost Galaxy. It's just not trash, but actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to put Kai in trash. I'm sorry. If I'm thinking about all this, yeah, Kai definitely is not that great of a Blue Ranger. Now, Chad, on the other hand, Chad is a great Blue Ranger because I love his story arcs with him falling in love with a mermaid. He's a great, great martial artist. His martial arts really come in handy because as I was rewatching Lost Lightspeed Rescue last year, I just felt like, you know what? Chad isn't doing it for me. But actually, as I'm going through the season and looking at Chad, you know what? He does have some things to contribute. So I'm definitely going to put Chad in Raw. Chad is definitely Raw. All right, Lucas, the pretty boy of the team. He didn't get that many focus episodes. So that's kind of, not that good. His focus episodes that he had, like, a mutant that was his friend that he had to testify against, that was a good story arc. Him protecting Dr. Zaskin's daughter from a mutant, that was a good episode. The Dearest Dream Date, that was such a funny episode. It was great, but he didn't really do much because, of course, he got overshadowed by the plot of Janet and Wes. So, but I'll put Lucas in mid. Lucas was a mid blue, not trash, just mid. Now Max is another one. I feel like he didn't really get much to do. He had I could say his good moments come when he's on screen with Danny, and those are great moments, of course. He has probably a few focus episodes, like 2 or 3, and that's it. But I do love, his camaraderie with Danny. Max is the clown of the team. He has a fun personality and everything, but he just didn't have that much to do. So I am gonna have to put him in trash for this one. Sorry, Max. But I just wish if he had more to do, he would probably be in mid. But for now, I may have to put him in trash. All right, next up is Tori, the first female Blue Ranger. And for Tori to be the only female on a team with a bunch of guys, that's incredible. She took no nonsense. She always had to, always wrap around the guy's shenanigans and everything. She was a great surfer. She's very knowledgeable. So I definitely got to put Tori in GOAT. Tori is definitely a GOAT Blue Ranger. Ethan, another one. Ethan is another one. I feel like he really stepped into his own as well because similar to Billy, he's the geek of the team. They both have Triceratops. And he just, as the show progressed, he never let anything faze him. Like Connor's jock personality, that never fazed him. He just became his own person throughout the beginning of the show all the way to the end. And I love that about Ethan. And plus, a nerd Blue Ranger. What else is not to love? So, and he's black. So represent. So representing from the black nerds, I love that. So Ethan is definitely a GOAT. Sky, another one. Ooh, Sky's development from beginning all the way to end. Sky was definitely, SPD's by the book, no nonsense, stick to the rules kind of guy. And the way how his personalities clash with Jack throughout the show worked well. And my favorite moment, if you guys have seen my SPD review, I love the moment where Commander Kruger asks him in the beginning of the season, if I was to appoint Sid as Red Ranger, would you follow her into battle? Sky was like, no, because she's a girl. And then at the end of the season, Kruger asked him the same question. Sky was like, sir, I would follow anyone who wears the color red. And then Sky got promoted to Red Ranger. I just love it. Sky is GOAT. He's really GOAT. All right, next up is Madison. She's a character I really wish they did more of. A lot of the Rangers in Mystic Force felt like they got overshadowed by the Nick plot. Madison is definitely one of them. They could have done more with her and her relationship with Nick because that could have gone somewhere. She was like the peacemaker and the heart of the team, but that's about it. there wasn't really much to say about Madison, and I would put her in mid just for certain reasons, but she really didn't do much. But just for this once, I'm putting Madison in mid. All right, Dax. I know people don't like Dax. I didn't really like him that much either. He's just the fireball of the team, the loudmouth. It's just Dax was not that great of a Blue Ranger. He wasn't. Now, Theo was solid. Theo was a very solid Blue Ranger because another Blue Ranger is by the book. That's very funny how some of these Blue Rangers are very by the book. Some of them. Theo definitely, was very by the book. He had to, deal with Casey, who was kind of, lacking in his, martial arts training, but he was able to help Casey learn how to use his weapon. And even the point at the end of the show where Theo, found the courage to ask Lily out on a date. So that was nice. That was really nice. But yeah, Theo is a really, really great Blue and one of my favorite Blue Rangers as well. So I got to put Theo in Raw. Next up is Flynn. Flynn, I love his energy. I just love his energy. Of course, a Scottish Blue Ranger. He's a mechanic. He created one Zord to help the team out in battle. Flynn was just an incredible Blue Ranger. And being able to, put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of civilians going into Corinth in the beginning of RPM, brilliant. Well written. So good. And being able to prove to his father that he is a hero, not just the hero in his comic books, but he is a hero in real life. Awesome. So Flynn is definitely a GOAT Blue. All right, Kevin. I couldn't stand him. I could not stand him. Kevin is very by the book, but most of the time, his personality, I could not stand it. It's just, I always felt like he was trying to, be exactly like Jaden, which he wasn't. But it's just, he felt like a copy and paste of Jaden, but just dimmed down to like about 50 to 75%. But I didn't like Kevin. I didn't like his character. It just did not flow well. He had no chill. He wasn't relaxed. He's just there's moments where I do like characters that are by the book. Kevin was way too by the book. And it's like he stayed the same throughout the entire show. No change whatsoever. So Kevin goes to trash. Noah, although being the brains of the team, I still felt like he didn't do much. Didn't do nothing. Jack squat. Nothing whatsoever. And again, that's another Ranger I'm going to have to put in trash. Now, Coda, on the other hand. Coda. Loved his character. First of all, being a caveman, a Ranger out of time, and being able to adjust to modern day society and everything. Coda was fantastic. Just incredible. And even if he didn't have much to do, he was just for him being a caveman on a team. That's great. So Coda is definitely a GOAT Red. Now Preston, I wish he had more to do. I really wish they gave him more to do. One thing I wish that Ninja Steel did was able to keep going with Preston is the relationship that he had with that girl Sandy that he asked to the Valentine's Day dance. I wanted them to do more with that, but they didn't. And that's I'm going to have to put Preston in trash for that one. I'm going to have to put him in trash. And last but not least, Ravi. His story arc with, Roxy and everything was okay. That was okay. But it just, he needed more. He just needed more to do. That's all I had to say. But he wasn't a bad Blue Ranger. That I'll say that for sure. He's not bad. But I just wish he did more. But so Robbie is definitely mid. Okay, so these are my rankings for the Blue Rangers. In the comment section below, where would you put these particular Blue Rangers? Who are some of your favorite Blue Rangers? And just if there was a character that I would move I should move up, let me know in the comment section below. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to be notified. Also, follow me on all the things: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. And as always, I am Vengeance, I am Darkness, I am Blackwing. Stay golden.